See life as a voluntary play rather than a trap. You chose this particular run. The obstacles you carry were selected by the deeper you before the costume was put on, and the weight you feel comes mainly from a built-in forgetting that makes the story read like survival. The system erases memory of choice, so the drama feels absolute, which is why the body, thoughts, and emotions appear to define who you are until you learn to stand apart from them. There is a watcher, the awareness that notices sensations, stories, and moods without being absorbed by them. And once you remember that distinction between player and avatar, your relationship to experience shifts profoundly. Thoughts and feelings are like weather moving across a wide, calm sky. They arise, they change, and they dissolve while the field that notices them remains untroubled. That tiny pause between stimulus and reaction is the locus of freedom. Cultivate it and you stop reacting on autopilot and begin to respond with clarity. Culture teaches you to live in preparation mode, to treat the present as rehearsal for a future that will finally make you complete, and that instruction keeps you perpetually wanting. Most anxiety is manufactured mental time travel, rehearsals of possible disasters that have not happened and very likely never will. And when you recognize that memories and anticipations only exist in this present moment, their charge weakens. Anchor attention in direct experience, the texture of breath, the weight of the body, the sounds unfolding now. These are the only raw facts. Everything else is story added on top. When you allow uncertainty to stay uncertain, when you let not knowing be simply what it is, the energy that used to fuel worry converts into curiosity and a playful readiness to explore. Worry narrows your field and contracts your heart. Genuine concern expands awareness and invites reverence for the mystery that consciousness itself represents. Reframe difficulty as training rather than punishment. Every obstacle is an invitation to develop capacities you cannot access without resistance. Pain is the raw sensation. Suffering is the narrative you build on top of pain that insists it shouldn't be happening and therefore prolongs the discomfort. If you can feel the pain without leaping into story, it passes more quickly. Suffering lingers because you keep arguing with what is instead of meeting it and moving through it. Let go of the compulsion to defend a single stable identity. Authenticity is not sameness but responsiveness. Show up differently as the situation requires while remaining anchored in awareness. Children move between roles effortlessly because they do not confuse character with being. Adults fossilize into one identity and then complain about feeling limited. Train yourself to shift modes. Be fierce when the moment calls for fierceness, tender when tenderness is needed, without panicking that you are being disloyal to yourself. Where you put attention shapes what appears. Scan for threat and your brain finds threat. Look for openings and hidden doors emerge. Attention is a creative instrument. You participate in a complex, collective field where other players' choices create interference patterns. Yet you retain real agency over your slice of the game through your stance and actions. Recognize other people as distinct forms of the same awareness, and compassion becomes the natural response rather than an obligation or tactic. Seeing the self in others dissolves petty competition because harming another is, at the deepest level, harming another expression of the same whole. Death reframed as transition rather than annihilation takes the edge off existential terror. Forms dissolve, awareness persists, and a new playthrough eventually begins. This understanding does not produce recklessness. It produces courage, the freedom to risk meaningfully because loss is not the end of the player, only the end of a particular character. Develop peripheral, player-level awareness alongside the character's focused attention so practical tasks are handled while the wider view remembers impermanence and preserves calm. Care deeply without letting outcomes define your worth. Act with intention and tenderness, and detach personal value from scoreboard results. Practice small, repeatable rituals that anchor the shift. 3 slow breaths before responding, a 5-minute walk without devices, a nightly note of one lesson learned. Those tiny habits are the compound interest of interior change. Over time, they reorder your default orientation from reactivity to presence. Mastery means holding multiple perspectives at once. Fully inhabit the character's play while simultaneously maintaining the player's panoramic view. That dual awareness is like having both binocular focus for immediate action and wide-angle vision for context. Both are necessary and neither negates the other. Let your life be guided by curiosity rather than fear. Curiosity opens possibilities and invites discovery. Fear closes you down and narrows options to survival mode. Compassion grows naturally when you experientially recognize unity. The more you sense that others are versions of your own awareness, the easier it becomes to help rather than harm. Remember that your history is not destiny. The skill that got you here may not be the skill that moves you forward, and you always have the capacity to learn new responses through patient repetition. Use observation as proof. Look back honestly at times that felt impossible in the moment and recognize they often yielded the capacities you rely on today. Let that be evidence that suffering can be a teacher. Reorient toward participation rather than victimhood. When you act from the stance of a participant, you see obstacles as information and opportunities rather than personal punishments. Let go of the myth that you must always be self-sufficient. Requesting help, collaborating, and leaning on the field of other players expands what you can do more than heroic isolation. Bring this awareness into your relationships by practicing presence. Listen without preparing your argument. Allow silence to be part of the conversation, and respond from felt curiosity rather than defensiveness. Live as both creature and creator. Be embodied in the character's life while remembering you are the larger awareness exploring many masks across endless plays. Play skillfully, care without grasping, take risks that matter, and let the difficulties train you rather than define you. Start now. Breathe 3 conscious counts before replying to anything that triggers you. Choose curiosity as a first response at least once today, and treat every outcome as data for the next experiment. Make a small covenant with yourself. 5 minutes a day of noticing, 1 brave question asked each week, and 1 tiny act of curiosity. These micro-commitments compound into real change. Over months, they reshape your baseline from reactivity into creative presence. If this perspective resonated and you'd like richer, structured guidance for turning these ideas into embodied practice, consider exploring our book, Mental Mastery, Awaken the Warrior Within. It unfolds these teachings through guided practices, meditations, and step-by-step exercises designed to help you inhabit the player's stance in daily life and translate insight into sustainable habit. The link is in the description below. Your support sustains this work and helps these teachings reach more seekers.